Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We have a super show for you today. Our guest is the legendary and exquisite Tonja Walker. Tanya is an Emmy nominated actress, Tony nominated producer, an award winning filmmaker who's also a former beauty pageant title holder who has competed in the Miss USA pageant. She is known for her role as Alex Olanov on One Life to Live and her role as Olivia St. John General Hospital. Please feel free to send questions and comments while we are live. Please welcome Miss Walker. How are you, Miss Walker?
I'm fantastic. I just want to apologize because I was supposed to be on at 1 o'clock, and I had a friend who was sick, and I had to go have a little lunch meeting with her, and she's going to be okay. It seems like we're going to work together to make it for a couple of weeks, but I had to cut. So I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm so glad to be here now, and I'm so happy you invited me. Thank you, Tim.
Like I said, I'm overjoyed that you're here. So I guess I'll get right to it. What was it like for you growing up in West Virginia? I think that's where you were originally born.
Ooh, we're going way back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I was born in Huntington, West Virginia, West by God, Virginia, they call it, but no one's allowed to say that except us. Um,
Right.
and then when I was about 3 years old, Dad, uh, I moved. Fabulous. We lived in Ohio for a long time. And then when I was about 10, we moved to Maryland, and I was there until I was 19. And I loved West Virginia. We went back all the time. It was a beautiful, beautiful state. It still is a beautiful state. And unfortunately, now there's the fentanyl crisis, which is killing more people in West Virginia than any other state in the country. Um, they've sent, I don't know how many millions of fentanyl pills to the pharmacies in Huntington. And there are people now living on the Ohio riverbed, which used to never happen. When I was little, we would go downtown in Huntington, and we go across the river to Kentucky, Ashland, Kentucky, and my Billy Ray Cyrus is my cousin by marriage. He was married to my cousin Joan, my second cousin Joan, and we would all ride horses in their farm, and we would sing songs, and we had a blast. And then he came out and lived with me in Hollywood when I first arrived. But we
Oh,
went back
wow.
there all the time. So I really, really love West Virginia, and I still think it's one of the beautiful states in the country.
Yes, for sure. And there's a highway. I can't think of the number of the highway, but a
64.
designated. It's a designated drug highway. It comes from Florida, right up between Kentucky and West Virginia, and hits both states with the fentanyl that you were talking about. It's a terrible, terrible situation.
Yeah, we need
Um,
people to go in there and change that.
yes, for sure. Do you have any siblings? I
I
didn't see that
do.
anywhere.
I have two sisters. They're both so talented. My sister Tamara was Miss Maryland in the Miss America pageant, which is kind of an unusual thing. I don't know if anybody's ever had two Miss Marylands and two finalists in the Miss Maryland,
I don't
Miss
think so.
America, and Miss USA pageant. We were both finalists in there. I didn't have to have any talent in Miss USA because it's different credentials, different criteria. And so whenever anybody asked me what my talent was in the Miss USA pageant, I always say, well, I didn't have to have any talent. My sister is was with Curb Records. She has platinum records for the songs she wrote on the Coyote Ugly album and several film um, soundtracks. And her name
Wow.
is Tamara Walker, younger than me on it, and the really, really has a great big voice. Tiffany stayed home at with my mother here. Um, so mom loves her best. Uh, didn't leave. Um, and she gets called on the phone. You want to play Mama Rose and Gypsy, play that line. Uh, dusted, everything there is. Knocks at the just look both.
You might want to bring your phone a little bit closer if you don't. There you go.
Okay.
Just for the. There you go. Now we can hear you better.
Okay, good.
So you come from a artistic household, then it
Yes.
sounds like.
Yeah, I do. And my daughter Bella is a fabulous actress and singer. My daughter Abby is too, but she didn't want to go through the possibility of not having a lot of money to wait for the break in Hollywood. And so she is at SMU, and she's at outdoors. Right, December. Been working with the show, turn for years. First,
So, did you take drama or anything in school?
yeah, I sure did. But it didn't seem like enough schooling for me. When I got out here, I came out as a result of the Miss USA pageant and people calling my pageant director and saying, hey, we think she's very photogenic and we'd like to meet her. And so I came on out, and I went to see Richard Klein. Actually gave me my start, and he was on Three's Company, and so he asked me to come out and meet his manager. So I did, and he sent me across the street to meet with TGI, and they wanted to sign me right away. I'd never heard of TGI, so I'd never heard of anything except like Wilhelmina and William Morris and things of people like that. So I said, well, I don't want to sign with somebody I've never heard of because I want to go back to New York. I'm a mama's girl, a daddy's girl. I want to live close to my family in Maryland. So he sent me out a few other things. I got a national commercial right away. I got a movie with Matt Dillon right away. I got a mini series right away. And they all said, you're a natural and don't take any classes. And I was petrified. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, right? And any minute now they're going to figure out I don't know what I'm doing. So I went on the road with Hoyt Axton after a pilot that we did for NBC. They had signed me to a contract. I did Gangster Chronicles for them. No one that's watching this is going to remember any of these things, but I'm saying them anyway. And
I do.
oh gosh, you look so young. Anyhow, so I did and after the pilot didn't sell, and I did one-nighters on the road with Hoyt Axton for 3 months. It was so much fun. The most fun thing, Jamboree in the Hills in front of 80,000 people outside with a great big band, and opening for the Bellamy Brothers, which I did on my own. That was a blast. And I love singing country music. I love singing all kinds, but I especially like my roots. So I came back and told my manager and my agent that I wanted to do daytime. And they said, people don't go from nighttime in films to daytime, Tanya. And I said, I need to slow things down. And you know, at the time, there were a tremendous amount of people dying of cocaine overdoses and alcohol overdoses and all kinds of fast living. And I need to slow down. I studied all the best Bella Adler world, all these people, Lee Strasberg, and just so many different people. And I really learned what I was doing while I was on daytime. And then when I came off of daytime, they asked me if I would like to do nighttime in movies, and I said yes. And then it turned out I was too old. I was 24, and I was too old to play the ingenue, and I was too young to play the wife, the doctor, the lawyer. So I had to go back to daytime, and I was grateful to have an opportunity to do that. Meanwhile, Daddy had died. Mommy said, you get a job home. I was really bummed out. And my friend said, you ought to get a job at a car dealership. But I said, I don't even know how to put the gas in the gas. But I did. And I sold cars in Beverly Hills. Acura. I was very lucky. And I got called for General Hospital. So I got on my knees in the morning, bathroom. All the other all day under the hood car. So I gave me a job, I got up, but there's really.
Can you pull your phone up again?
And so I'm turning it over to you, and that's that. So I drive to Beverly Hills, and I walk in the door, and the manager says, I have to let you go. And I said, why? He said, I don't know. Right? So I said, okay, God, this is not okay. I didn't want to get fired, right? So, again, I'm trying to run the show. Not a good idea. So I left there and I went to the audition, and I asked him on the way out, I said, why are you letting me go? He goes, I don't know. And I don't think the owner knows either. He just said, so I work and wrote a part for
You have to pull closer. There you go. Someone is asking you, do you know when The Lie is coming out?
I thought it was out already. So no, I'm going to have to call them. They're with a company called Sterling Productions in Chicago, and I'm going to have to find out because I did it like 2 years ago. It should be out already. So I'll find out what's going on with that.
Well, back to your role on Liar's Moon with Matt Dillon. Oh my gosh. Was your accent natural? I just have to know because it sounded natural.
All I have to do is hear someone like you talk, and I turn to a Southern.
Oh, and Liz Kiefer said hello. She was on earlier today.
Hi. No, I don't have a Southern accent until I hear one.
That's what Blake brought it up because Liz said the same thing. She's like, I'm gonna pick up your accent throughout the show.
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing, but it's true. It's true. It's what happened to us. We just have an ear for it, and if it comes from our family, it comes out organically afterwards. But you don't mean to do it, but it happens. So.
And Capital was your first soap, right?
Yes.
See, IMDb's been leading me wrong here lately. That's why I have to ask.
Really? What did they say?
Not on you, but on other people that give me wrong things. And I ask about a show, and they're like, wasn't on that one.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So I started asking.
Smart.
Then you went to General Hospital. I mean, oh my gosh, that role was incredible.
Yeah, back then they had me do a lot of movie storylines. So Basic Instinct was out, Fatal Attraction was out. So I did those roles, toned down for daytime TV. It was a blast to get to do that. I don't know if I'll ever get to do that again.
Well, they brought you back in 2017, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. But they wrote me corner there. My character always had a good reason, even though it was not a good reason, but she always had a good reason that people could understand at home for what she was doing. And when I came back, she was just arbitrarily killing people. Already gone to the end of the road with that story and moved on. Right. pretended like we hadn't done that. I was grateful. I was grateful for working, but I had what would buy Paula every walk by her and with one dynamite under her chair, just wrapped up in rope, and had on suicide.
Well,
I did. I was like, uh-oh, I'm never coming back here. You can't have Kimberly Paula and get back away with it. No. But I was going back to her. Out Austin, her woman. I loved it.
Tanya, your volume is cutting out. Would it be possible to get a little closer to your Wi-Fi, maybe?
To Wi-Fi.
There you go. You're perfect there.
Oh, really? I'll be darned. Okay.
Perfect right there. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. So I went to the on Twitter and I wrote, that players, there's millions of people, millions of soldiers in my family. Everybody's in the service. Millions of soldiers have died for your right to play a game and make millions on Sundays. And you should stand for the anthem because you could be raking leaves somewhere. That's what I said. Mm-hmm. And I was going to say waiting tables somewhere, but it had too many characters.
Right.
Waiting tables had 13, and I only had room for 12. So I'm starting to think of a job that these millionaires could be, doing that wouldn't pay much. And I thought, oh, raking leaves. Well, about 20 people came up under me and said I was a racist.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Said I was a racist. And then I said all the wrong things. I was so panicked and frightened and insulted and hurt. I said my best friend Lori's daughter is Black. And she's been like my own daughter since she adopted her. I said, yeah, right, sure, your best friend's daughter's Black. And then I said, well, my husband and I created a charity called Partners for Potential. And if people at church, we have a huge underserved African-American population in Cleveland. And, those kids don't get a chance. And if they talk like a white kid, they call them names. If they talk, smart, they get insulted and bullied. So if we got a call from a school, we would pay for them to get a private education. And so then they said, yeah, right, pay for my private education. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And so I was just in tears and I had to hang up the phone. And the next day I got a phone call from General Hospital that said, we're not going to do your storyline in October because we're bringing Steve Burton back. And I just wasn't sure if that was really what happened or not. But they haven't asked me back since. And it breaks my heart. But, I know the climate we're in. Yes. And everybody's so sensitive. And all I meant was my whole family's in the service. And please stand for the national anthem. That's all I was trying to say. Grandpa, my uncle, my plot. For me, I didn't know the story. I should have looked into it, but I wasn't watching every word I said back then. And I should have been because Day, which is a shame, but we do. And I didn't understand the point of view of the African American people, that that it's not the great world. So back then, I understand now that they, who meaning peoples that are not white, which had never been a they to me, they've been my best friends. So
Right.
I we're now without crucified. People that are color, people that they haven't from the beginning, and so I can understand why I can't. So I understand that. I wasn't thinking about that. I should have been. I wasn't. I was just thinking about, how many years my women had to live without their husband, one home, from wars alive with all their limbs, some did, some didn't, and please Atlanta. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like you. I think I don't like to put stuff in text because I mean it one way, and people usually take it another way, and so I usually I have some younger people on my board of the foundation that I usually run things by. I'm like, now tell me if this is wrong. If I'm out of line, correct me. Tell me, because after a certain age, we're new to technology, and I don't know emojis. I don't know all of that stuff,
I'm good
and
with emojis. I'm just not good.
and
It's just,
it sounds like somebody was just looking for an argument to me because
well,
and it
no, it
shouldn't have
from,
happened.
kept me from working, honey. It kept me from working. So
Well, you
serious. I'm happy to address it here, but somebody could cut it in little pieces. Sound terrible. So it's just something I have to trust God with. I have
well,
to
you're
trust.
getting a lot of love from your fans.
I,
You've got a congratulations on the Derby Stallion streaming on
oh
Amazon.
yeah, it came
Uh,
out here and I got it back on TV. It's on Amazon and Tubi, Roku.
Somebody
Now
else said, "I love Derby Stallion. Will you be directing more movies?"
I hope so. Yeah, that's the plan. One, I'm really a lot of about how great big crooked people can get your money out of Swiss bank accounts and all kinds. That was my area. We're doing a story.
You might need to turn a little bit more.
Uh,
It's losing. There you go.
we're doing a series on right, my friend put right, uh,
Well, someone brought up a point here. The writers and producers of General Hospital need to bring you back. And just to let everybody know, if that's really what you want, I've heard from other celebrities. You can write or email General Hospital and explain who you want so and so back and what storylines you might suggest for them because
uh,
they do pay attention to it.
well, I heard that work before, but I
You have to turn a little bit more.
I
Can't hear you.
you cannot.
Your video's perfect. It's just your sound keeps cutting out. Say something, we might be able to hear you.
Is that good?
You still cut out a little bit.
Yeah, I can
There you
understand.
go.
Right here.
Back just a step. There you go. I think we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
We
Really?
can hear you now. Yes.
You can? Isn't this the weird?
Yes.
Okay.
Shannon's asking how your script's going.
It's good. It's good. And there's also one that I've been asked to star in that we need funding for. And it's called Windy City out of Chicago. And, it's a story about two rival families, similar to a dynasty kind of a thing. And the fathers have been taken out of the picture, and the women are coming in to take over their businesses. And the sons are don't really want very, very kind of like couples. Well, what happened there?
We're not able to hear you, Tanya. I'm so sorry.
What was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about what the script was about. It was about a group of women taking over for the men.
Yeah, it's two rival families. So like charge ours. I have another one about white basketball player who is
We're not really hearing you.
all right. Well, you have to call me back.
Yeah,
Happy.
if you're up to it, we can reschedule it at maybe next week or a couple weeks.
Okay. Well, I hope you got something.
We did, but I still got a whole bunch to tell you.
All right. Let's try it again next week and see how we do.
Okay, I'll just text you and we'll see about setting it up. Thank you so much for giving me this time you did.
Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will get this rescheduled and get everybody notified. I'd like to thank Tanya for being here today. I'd like to thank the NFF for sponsoring our show. For more information on necrotizing fasciitis, please visit our website at www.necfasc.org. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great upcoming episodes. Remember to be kind to one another. Until next time, have a great day.